saw Babylon a couple days ago with my mom while my mom was in town. And I have to congratulate you. I was there for some early days skeleton crew moments with Margot and under Mandy's fearless leadership, along with her associate Jillian Myers. We had so much fun in that room for a couple days. And I have to commend you because I know you worked with Margot on her movement quality, on her abandon specifically. What I saw on screen versus what I saw on that day in the room, which obviously was a rehearsal. It was not, we were not like on, but it was massive transformation. So hats off to you and the work that you did. How do you feel about that work, about that role, about her performance, about your performance also in that chaotic opening party scene?
First, I would just like to shout out Mandy Moore because, initially I was just brought in to teach, classes to Margot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you remember the time with jobs, you have to get swabbed every day. It was this heightened sense of if you stepped outside of your home, you had to be protected. If you weren't being protected, you're putting everybody else at risk. And then, girl, I just had my third child. So I was like, what is going on? When Block called me like, hey, Mandy Moore, the famous choreographer, she's going to hit you up. Make sure you answer the phone. I was like, okay, this is random. I have no idea what's going on, but it's all good. So that's the state of my mind. So when she's just like, yeah, let's start off. I just want to see how you work with, Margot. And I was like, okay. But the first time that I met her, I was like, you know what? I have to ask this question. I was like, Mandy, be real with me. Why do you want Margot to learn African diasporic movement?
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm just
You
interested.
didn't know. She hadn't told you anything about.
Especially because I knew about Babylon's, like, the storyline. I was like, okay, 1920s going from silent films to talk films. Okay, I understand because I knew personally where jazz was. This is not the codified spirit finger jazz. I knew that, but I was trying to see. I was like, Mandy, are you going this direction with it? Because that would really give you 1,000 cool points from me.
Right.
So
Like,
she was
how
just
hip
like,
is
oh,
this
yeah.
film to what is actually going on in parts of America at that time?
Exactly. So she was like, yeah, Kara, so during this time you're talking about Josephine Baker, this is when it was the time where it was still jungle music. It wasn't even like jazz yet in terms of the name and all that stuff. This is still purely like Africanized movement that's now here in America, and it's now with this big band, tuxedos, all of these different. And then I was like, thank you. That's all I need to know. And that basically gave me the freedom to teach. I was like, now, because I knew that this is still a customer service job. So I'm still going to do what the choreographer is asking me to do, regardless of how much he or she knows about anything. But the fact that Mandy just knew, like, no, Kara, do your thing. This is she needs this part because Damien doesn't want any lines, because this is not the era for that. That came later, 40s, 50s. This is 20s, 1920s. This is the the baby newborn stage of this movement. So how does that look? It looked basically like the freedom needs to like reign like precedent over everything. And so when she said 2 hours a day, 3 times a week, every week, I was like, let's go.
So lucky of them to get to have you. And yes, flowers to Mandy for understanding roots, history, not just of then, but of right now. Like, to know to go to you for this. That is a woman who, she's solid. Mandy's so solid. Great sensibilities, such a great leader. And a gift for the cast to have you, and a gift for you to have a platform like that to bring what you do so well to a really, really big screen.